Welcome back to Now Go See It. I'm Tony. Today we're in Puerto Iguazu here in Argentina. It's a small town near the famous Iguazú Falls. Of course, you've come here to check out the falls, but once you're done with that, we've got lots of other great things you can do right in this city. So join us. Before we get into it, do me a quick favor and hit subscribe. It's free, it helps the channel a ton, and it tells YouTube to show this video to other people who are trying to plan the same trip without wasting time or money. Puerto Iguazu is basically your jumping off point for Iguazú Falls, and let's not pretend otherwise. The falls are why people come here. Puerto Iguazu is the base camp, the place you sleep, the place you hunt down a decent dinner after you've been outside all day, and the place you fill time when you're done with waterfalls, but you're not done being a person who needs something to do. And that's the whole point of this list. Here's the reality. A falls day is a big day. You're up early, you're walking a ton, you're dealing with heat, humidity, and potentially large crowds. So this video is built around the real rhythm of a falls trip. What you can do in Puerto Iguazu before the falls, after the falls, or on an extra day when you want something to see. And we're also going to hit a bunch of dining options so you can pick something that feels local and worth the money. Now let's talk about the big planning question. Argentina side versus Brazil side, and how to do both without turning it into a logistical mess. You can visit the falls from both countries, and they're different experiences. The Argentina side is the spend a full day inside the park side. More trails, more angles, more time on foot, more of that immersive up-close experience. The Brazil side is the big panoramic view side, where you get those sweeping postcard-style looks at the full wall of waterfalls. If you're the kind of traveler who likes to say you did the whole thing, doing both is totally worth it. But the important part is this. Visiting the Brazilian side from Puerto Iguazu takes extra time because of border crossings. You're going to cross from Argentina into Brazil and then back again. And that means lines, checkpoints, and the general unpredictability of a border crossing. Some days it's smooth, some days it's not. Either way, it's something you want to plan for and budget time for. This is also why I strongly recommend booking a low-cost tour for your falls days, especially if you're doing both sides. Look on sites like Viator or Get Your Guide. We'll link the tours we took in the description. A lot of these tours are surprisingly affordable, and the value is not in somebody reading facts at you. The value is that they streamline everything that can waste your time. They know what order to do things in, they handle timing, they understand the park logistics, they help you avoid getting stuck in a line at the worst possible moment, and if you're adding something like the boat ride, they'll plan that too. There's also a special tourist lane at the border for licensed tour operators, which usually speeds things up. A tour is a sanity purchase. Okay, falls logistics handled. If you want to learn more about the falls specifically, check the channel for video guides for visiting the Argentina side and the Brazil side. Now let's get into Puerto Iguazu attractions, starting with one of my favorites. If you only have time for one non-falls activity in Puerto Iguazu, make a Güirá Oga. This was one of my favorite things we did in town, and it's one of the best ways to see local wildlife up close in the area. It's a rescue and preservation-focused place, which matters because it changes the feel of the visit. You're not just wandering around looking at animals, you're seeing the work behind rehabilitation and conservation, and it feels more grounded than a random zoo stop. And the animals are great. You'll see toucans, you'll see monkeys, there's a boa constrictor that's going to make you rethink your relationship with the forest around you, and there's some unique jungle cats too. It's one of those places where you keep turning around a corner and saying, oh wow, okay, that's cool. One important tip, if you want an English language tour, go early in the day. I visited in the afternoon and our tour was all in Spanish. It was still totally worth doing, you can understand a lot just by seeing what you're seeing and following along. But I do think it would have been better with English commentary, especially if you want the full story behind the animals and their care. So if that matters to you, plan for a morning visit. Next up, La Casa de Botellas, the bottle house. On paper, this sounds like a silly stop. A house made out of bottles feels like it's either going to be surprisingly cool or a 5-minute novelty you forget immediately. And the truth is, it's quirky, but it's rooted in something real.
My father making this house 25 years ago.
Oh wow.
This technique using one and half butter, or one butter.
You pay a small fee, you walk through, and you see how the house is constructed out of recycled plastic bottles and other reused materials. And then you learn that the people behind it aren't just doing a weird art project. They've spent years teaching sustainable building ideas in poor communities in developing countries, which changes how you look at it. It goes from fun photo stop to this is a practical concept people can use. Inside, there are tons of fun photo opportunities, and it's a great mix of recycled art and practical reuse ideas. Some of it is creative, some of it is functional, and the whole thing is unique enough to be memorable. Now let's talk about La Arapuca, which is the most honest tourist trap in Puerto Iguazu, because their entire story is basically, welcome to the tourist trap, please enjoy. Here's the backstory. The original inhabitants of the region used a bird trap called an Arapuca. The idea was simple, a structure designed to catch birds. La Arapuca's main giant wooden structure is modeled after those traps. Except instead of birds, this one is designed to catch tourists, and I respect their honesty. They know what they're doing. There are some small displays about wood and rainforest trees, and that part is interesting for about as long as it takes to read the signs and say, okay, I learned something. But most of La Arapuca is a series of well-curated gift shops and places to eat. And look, that's fine. It can be fun. It's a good place to browse regional-style souvenirs without dealing with repetitive downtown stalls. But the admission fee can feel a bit like a cash grab because you're paying to enter a place where you'll spend most of your time shopping in their stores. If you go in with the right mindset, it works. You're not here for a museum-quality experience. You're here for a quick stop, a few fun photos with the big structure, and a shopping break where the souvenirs are a step above the usual. Next, Jardín de los Picflores, the hummingbird garden. This one also needs expectations management, because it's a lot smaller than you might think. Think slightly larger than an urban backyard. It's not some huge botanical garden you wander through for an hour. But here's the good news. It's a great place to see loads of hummingbirds up close. They're flying everywhere, bouncing between feeders, and if you're into photography, this is one of the easiest places in town to get hummingbird photos that feel like you worked harder than you did. Even if you're not a photographer, it's still a fast, satisfying visit because you're seeing something you don't usually get to see up close. Alright, now we're moving into the viewpoint and river section, because Puerto Iguazu has a handful of fast viewpoint stops that are perfect when you want something easy, free, and close to town. First is Mirador El Mancier. This is a simple overlook, and it's best when you've got 20 to 30 minutes and you want a view without committing to a whole outing. The standout here is the view of the Ponte Trenqueno Nueves Bridge, the major connection between Argentina and Brazil. Go early or late if you can for better light. Then there's El Mirador Panoramico. This one has lower tourist traffic than the bigger official viewpoints, but the views are still excellent. You get a great angle over the river area, you can spot the Star observation wheel across the river, and you can see the integration bridge and the wider meeting point where the rivers come together. Next is the riverfront walkway area. This is a great post-falls option because it's simple and feels like real life in town. There are numerous parks and viewpoints along the way, benches, tables, families hanging out, and plenty of space to slow down without feeling like you're stuck in a shopping zone. The one thing to know is it's a gradual incline toward the marina, which means the return is uphill. It's not a brutal hill, but after a falls day you'll notice it, so don't wander too far unless you're committed. Now let's talk about the big one, Ito Tres Fronteras. This is the most popular viewpoint in Puerto Iguazu, and for good reason. This is where you can stand in one place and look out at 3 countries, Argentina, Brazil, and Paraguay. Even if you're not a geography nerd, it's a cool moment. It's one of those I'm glad I did it stops because it's so straightforward. The site is built for visitors, so it's easy. There are structured viewing platforms, including a higher main deck and lower areas where you can move around for different angles. There are monuments and plaques that give it some context, and the practical stuff matters here too. There are some shopping options, snacks, and bathrooms, which makes it a convenient stop. And while you're here, don't miss the best photo opportunity, Mastil de las Banderas. It's nearby, and it's the perfect 3 countries meeting point photo moment. If you're trying to stack a few iconic Puerto Iguazu shots, this is one of the easiest wins in town. Next, Plaza San Martin. During the day, it's a normal open park, useful if you need a break, a place to sit, or a simple let's reset moment. But at night, it shifts into something more fun, because you get this local feeling night market energy with artisan stalls and food stands. It's not some giant festival you need to plan around, it's just a great what do we do tonight option that doesn't require tickets or a complicated schedule. Now let's talk about mate, because you can't spend time in Argentina without running into it. We did a mate tasting experience at the Yerba Mate Club, and it was cool to experience the tradition, even though I didn't end up liking mate. The experience itself is great. You get a quick intro into what mate is, why it matters culturally, and why people get picky about flavors and leaf cuts. You learn how to prep it properly, and you walk away understanding what you've been seeing everywhere, people carrying mate cups around town like it's part of their daily uniform. Even if you don't buy anything to take home, it's still one of the better do-something-local activities in Puerto Iguazu. It's short, it's affordable, and gives you context you can use for the rest of your Argentina trip. And while we're in the shopping category, quick shout out to Guardian del Monte. If you want one of the coolest shops in town, this is it. It's the place to go when you want souvenirs that feel connected to the region instead of the usual repetitive tourist stuff. Even if you're not a big shopper, it's worth popping in to see what they have. Now, one of the most unique experiences we did in Puerto Iguazu was the boat ride from the dock area. And this one surprised me, because it's not just a we took a boat thing. It has a whole layer of local history and geography that makes it more interesting. Before the bridge opened, the boats at this river crossing were a primary way to get to Paraguay and Brazil from Puerto Iguazu. And even today, the river geography here is part of the story because the big white integration bridge that's supposed to connect Brazil to Paraguay across the river isn't open yet, so instead they rely on a smaller bridge upriver. which is why the river transport story still matters. The boat tour itself is a cool way to see the river from a totally different perspective. You get unique views up the river, you've got a chance to spot some local river wildlife, and you pass a small waterfall. It came with a free local cocktail. I'm not going to overthink it. It was good. It was exactly what you want when you're sitting on a boat looking at the water. Cold, refreshing, and a nice little surprise that makes you feel like you got something extra. The same dock area was also our launch point for another adventure. We used it to take the car ferry for a day trip to Güirá Falls in Paraguay. If you want to see the whole experience, check the channel for that video. Now shopping, because you're going to buy something here even if you swear you won't. Feria Puerto Iguazu was the shopping experience that felt the most authentic to me. It's food focused and it's the place for edible souvenirs. Yerba mate, sweets, spice mixes, snacks, olives, olive oil, wines, and all the little things that are easy to pack and easy to gift. It also has that market feel where you can browse, sample a bit, compare stalls, and buy what you genuinely like instead of guessing. Then nearby you've got the main nightlife and hangout area, Piertono Puerto Iguazu, the downtown pedestrian area. This is where you'll find plenty of shops, restaurants, and breweries, and it's basically inevitable that you wind up here at some point. There's a good cluster of tempting restaurants here with people outside trying to lure you in with 2-for-1 drink specials. On my first night I tried Chuquane Bowls. It's loud, it's casual, and it's the kind of place you'll notice immediately because it's designed to pull you in. They do picanha platters, they do loaded fries, they do big burgers, and they do those menu items where everything is trying to be a little extra version of itself. I ate the Milanese sandwich there, specifically the Sandwich de Milanese de Carne, and it was fine. But here's the honest part. It was the most expensive and my least favorite meal of the trip. The location is prime, and you pay for that. It was one of those moments where I learned, okay, next time, explore restaurants a little further out from the pedestrian zone. Not because everything in the zone is bad, but because the best meals we had weren't right in the center of the tourist strip. Now for the meals that made me feel like I picked correctly. Restaurante de la Ronda 1975 is one of those classic do dinner properly spots. I ordered a nice big cut of beef, which is one of the most Argentina things you can do after a falls day. Sit down, order a serious steak, and let someone else handle the cooking while you recover. The menu has a lot going on, so even if someone in your group isn't in a steak mood, there are plenty of options that still feel like a real dinner, not a backup plan. Next, Aqua Restaurante Iguazu. This was a great casual but still feels special meal. I ordered Milanesa de Polo with yucca fries, and it came with this bean whip on a bread situation that I didn't expect to be as good as it was. Aqua is a smart pick if your group is split between wanting fish, wanting chicken, and wanting steak, because the menu gives you multiple lanes without feeling scattered. Restaurante La Toscana was my favorite meal of the whole trip. I ordered the capelletti di cordedo, pasta stuffed with confit lamb, mushrooms, and mint. It was really good Italian comfort food done Argentina style. If you want a meal that feels like a reward, this is the one. Also, if you see their tableside flambe moment on the menu, it's the kind of thing you order because it's fun and you're on vacation. No one needs to be responsible here. Then there's Hassi Restaurant, which is the place I ended up when I was looking for lunch and it started to downpour. I ordered river fish there, and it was a solid meal, especially if you're curious about the local fish without committing to a high-end dinner. Well, not in my plan, Hassi was a great surprise. And for a quick stop, I also hit Cafe Marts for an iced coffee and a miga sandwich, those classic Argentine tea sandwiches. This is a great I need something small right now stop, not a huge meal, just enough to keep you moving. If you're looking for something more familiar, there are also 2 big breweries with multiple locations, Holy and Patagonia. They're the kind of places you can use as a fallback when you want a predictable menu in a familiar format. And if you're fully in chain dining mode, there's even a Hard Rock. I'm not judging, sometimes you just want the thing you know. So that's Puerto Iguazu. The falls are the headline, but the town gives you enough extra stuff to make your trip feel fuller, especially if you've got time before or after your park days. You can build a really satisfying itinerary without overcomplicating it. And if you want more, the channel has up videos now or coming soon outlining visits to both sides of Iguazú Falls, our day trip to Güirá Falls in Paraguay, and videos of our time in Buenos Aires. Go watch those next or visit our website nowgoseeit.com if you're planning an Argentina trip and you want a plan that works. If this helped you, hit like and subscribe for more videos like this. Now go see Puerto Iguazú.